how are you all? Welcome to this channel. I'm Mary. In today's class, I bring you this beautiful envelope-style bag made with two very basic stitches, the slip stitch and the half double crochet. Look how the combination of the two turns out. A very beautiful wave pattern. It's a very modern stitch, and honestly, it's quite trendy. It's a quick bag, very easy to make, and quite affordable. I used 290 grams of material for it, and it has plenty of space. Look how it looks on the inside. We can also store our phone. And we still have space to store our keys, our makeup, or other little things. Look how pretty it looks. It's quite eye-catching, very handmade. If you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed yet, I invite you to do so and also activate the notification bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming classes. I hope you'll stay with me until the end, enjoy the process, and put it into practice. If that's the case, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and leave a comment as a sign of appreciation. This helps us and motivates me to keep making these beautiful tutorials with lots of love for you all. Now, let's go to the list of materials and then to the step-by-step instructions. These are the materials we will need in today's class. I have a measuring tape, scissors, a personalized plate with the channel's name. This one is optional. A vegan leather clasp. It comes with spaces for stitching. If you don't have this one, you can use whatever you have available. 2 lobster clasp rings, 2 centimeters in diameter, a yarn needle, a 3.5 millimeter knitting needle. This one is for weaving in ends. A 5.5 millimeter knitting needle, which will be our main needle. Pearl handle. Look how beautiful it is. Look at the finish on the ends. This one measures 38 centimeters. If you don't have it on hand, you can make it yourself at home or use whatever you have available. I'm going to work with feather type extra stretchy t-shirt yarn. Here I have a skein of about 1 kilo, but we won't be using all of it. In the video description, I'll leave the exact amount that I'm going to use for this project. This material is from Pollock Supplies. Honestly, I recommend it 100% because it's very even though it's eco t-shirt yarn. The first thing we need to do before starting is to stretch and organize our t-shirt yarn very well. Look, I've already done it here. This will allow us to have an easier process and a better finish on the piece. Why? Because the material will already be ready to crochet. See here, the ends have already been tucked inside and it has a tubular shape, ready for us to start our project. This strand is 3 centimeters wide, and I'm going to be working with a 5.5 millimeter needle. Depending on the width of the yarn, that's how you'll choose the right needle. You can do this process easily by placing the yarn on the tip of the needle, like this. If you see that the yarn doesn't stick out from the tip, just like you see here, that's the ideal needle to work with that material. If the yarn sticks out, it means my stitch will be too tight, but this way I can see that the stitch won't be too tight or too loose. So it's going to be a proper fit. That will also depend a lot on how tightly I crochet or how loosely I do it. But this is the most effective way to choose the thickness of the needle, depending on the yarn I have available. We start by making a slip stitch. And now we will crochet 26 chains. We have a loop on the hook. We yarn over and slip it through. Give it a little height, loop on the hook, yarn over and slip it through. This way, we will crochet the chains until we reach number 26. I finished the 26 chains and they measure 22 centimeters long. Chain number 26 will be our turning chain, and we will be working on chain number 25, which means in this case we are working with an odd number. So here we are going to start the first row and begin with the stitch pattern that we will use for this project. This is going to be a combination of 2 stitches, slip stitch and half double crochet, and we will be working in groups of 5. So we are going to start by turning the chain and passing the hook under the back bumps. Look, here they are. We always start in the second back bump, because the first one, as I mentioned, is the turning chain. So we will be going under this one, starting with a slip stitch. We work in the first 5 back bumps, and in the next 5 we will make half double crochet. So we will alternate these 2 stitches. We go under the second back bump. Yarn over, bring it forward. And here we give it height. We have 2 loops on the hook. We're going to slip the first one into the one we already had, like this. Here we've made our first slip stitch. We pass the hook under the next ridge. We yarn over. We pull up a loop. We have 2. We slip this one into the one we already had. We have 2 slip stitches. 3, 4, and 5. Check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On the next little hill, we're going to make a half double crochet. We have a little loop on the hook. We yarn over again, making sure it's nice and organized, and we pass the needle under the little hill. We yarn over and pull up a loop. Here we have 3 loops left on the hook. We yarn over again and pull through, under all 3. This is how our half double crochet should look. We yarn over again. We go under the next ridge. And we make a half double crochet. We have 3 yarn over and close. So we have 1, 2 stitches. Let's complete the 5. 3, 4, and 5. We have 5 slip stitches, 5 half double crochets. On the next bump, we're going to repeat the pattern from the beginning, which is 5 slip stitches. We insert the hook under the next bump, yarn over, pull up a loop, and slip stitch. Under the next one, slip stitch. We have how many? 2 slip stitches? Let's complete all 5. 3, 4, and 5. We complete 5 slip stitches here. We're going to work 5 more stitches, and these are going to be half double crochets. So we place yarn over the hook, and we go under the next ridge. Here, look, we have 3. We yarn over again and go through all of them. We yarn over, and we make the stitch. We already have 2 half double crochets. Three, 4, 5. Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We do it on this side. Look how they stay. We make the high midpoint. Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here we have the last 5 points left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here we are going to finish with slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Look, this is how our dot pattern is turning out. We start with 5 slip stitches. We work 5 half double crochets. We continue with 5 slip stitches. Repeat the half double crochet again and finish with 5 slip stitches. See how we have been alternating these 2 stitch patterns. And in this case, if you want to make this piece a little bigger, you should add to the initial chain 5 stitches. It means you should increase by 5 each time so you can make it bigger. I finished the first round with a total of 25 stitches. And here we can already see the pattern, which is starting to look like a wave. Look how it's turning out. The piece looks really pretty. Let's position ourselves here where we have the little ear, in the crochet hook, which is the last stitch. We yarn over and make a turning chain. We turn the piece. And now we'll work the second row. Here we can notice where the chains are. Look, it's complete. We're going to pass the needle through the center of the chain, taking the strand that's on the top. We always pass the needle through the second one, because remember, the first one is the turning chain. So we pass it through the center of the chain. We pick up the top loop and there we'll make the first 5 stitches. Look. In this second round, we're going to start with a slip stitch. Just like we did in the first one, we go through in the second. We yarn over, and here we slip. We have the first stitch, we go through the next one. Second. Third. Fourth. And fifth point. We finished the 5 slides. Now we're going to work on the 5 medium highs. We place yarn on the hook, and we pass it through the center of the next chain. We have 3. We go through all of them. And here we have the first half double crochet. We go through the center of the next one. We place yarn on the hook. We have 3. We yarn over and pull through all of them. 2. 3. 4. 5. We made it to 5, kind of tall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're going to do 5 slides. We go through the center of the next chain, and we make the first stitch in the center of the next one. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Always check at the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We did all 5. Medium high. One, 2, 3, 4. Let's do the last one. Five. We finish here. With 5 slipped stitches, we go through the center. We make the first one. 2, 3, 4. And here is the last one. 5. I finished the second round with 25 stitches. I started with 5 slip stitches, 5 half double crochets, 5 slip stitches, 5 half double crochets, and I finished with 5 slip stitches. This way, you can see the stitch pattern. Look, in the first one, we open the wave, and in the second one, we close the wave. For the third round, we're going to open the wave again, but here we're going to alternate the stitch. It means that we're no longer going to start with a slip stitch, but with a half double crochet. So here, we make a turning chain, we turn the piece, and we start the third one with 5 half double crochets. We place the little ear on the hook and pass it through the center of the second chain. We yarn over. We give it height. We have 3. We yarn over and close. We have the first half double crochet. Yarn over, then make the second half double crochet. In the next one, we have 3, 4, and 5. In the next 5 stitches, we make a slip stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 medium-high points. I completed the 5 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do 5 slip stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We finished with 5 half double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and here's the last one. Notice that the chain stitch always hides. We make the last one. I finished the third round. Look, it looks a little tangled here. You still can't see the pattern very well, but we're on the right track. We start with 5 half double crochet stitches, 5 slip stitches, 5 half double crochet stitches, 5 slip stitches, and we finish with 5 half double crochet stitches. Let's work on the fourth round. We make a turning chain and turn the piece. Just like we started the third round with a half double crochet, we will also start the fourth round with half double crochets. So we work the 5 half double crochets. In the center of the second chain, I finish the stitches. Always check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're going to do 5 slip stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We continue with 5 half double crochets. In the center of the next one, five slip stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We finish with 5 medium high. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is how our dot pattern is turning out. I've already finished round number 4. And look, in round number 3, we open the wave. And in round number 4, we close the wave. For round number 5, we're going to repeat the sequence from the first one. Round. It means that we're going to start with slip stitches. And for round number 6, we also start with slip stitches, just like we did in round number 2. For rounds 7 and 8, we're going to repeat the sequence from rounds 3 and 4. We're going to work the same stitches, but we're going to change their order 2 by 2. So, this is the process we're going to continue until we reach the desired height. I've already given the piece its height. Look at how the dot pattern looks. You can see here how the waves are forming. Look how pretty it is. This would be the front part. And this is how it looks on the back. Here, I did a total of 34 rows, but you won't identify them by the rows, but by the waves, because that's the easiest way. So let's look at the piece, and we can see that here is the first wave, and on top, look how the second wave looks. We count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I left it at wave number 18. If you want to make it bigger, you can keep working the rounds in the same way I explained to you until you reach the desired height. I'm going to give you the measurements of height in the center of the wave. It ended up being 32.5 centimeters. Here in the part where the slipped stitches are, it ended up being 31 centimeters. Wide, it ended up being 22 centimeters. We already have the piece ready. As you can see, the pattern is very simple, and the finish looks very nice. What you need to keep in mind, regardless of the length you want to make it, is the way you finish it. You should finish it the same way you started. That means, if we started with a slip stitch, here we should also start with a slip stitch and finish with a slip stitch. What for? So that when it's time to close the bag, both ends will have the same stitch pattern. Look here. Start the wave with a slip stitch, go up with a half double crochet, go down with a slip stitch, and go up with a half double crochet, finishing with a slip stitch. Both ends have the same wave pattern. And that's important to give our piece a better finish. Now that the piece is shaped like this, now we're going to make the sides. We'll work these with single crochet. We take the piece with the right side facing in. We join here, leaving one stitch facing the other. Here on this side, we have the turning chain from the last stitch. Here, I'm going to show you where you're going to make the single crochets. You're going to insert the needle. Here, in this space, under the height point, here, and in front. Look, we have this little hill, and here are 2 strands. You're going to go under the first one, and the one that's in the back. Over here on this side, here, and here. The next point, look here, is the little bump. You are going to take the 2 strands under the little bump and the 2 strands that are in front here. The next, you are going to see 2 strands here, 1 and 2. And the 2 that are in front, here on this side, look at them, here. Here are the 2. And here they are, the 2 in front. Here at the bottom, look, there's the little hill. Underneath are the 2 strands. Here and here. Here. And here. this way until you get here to the last point. We pass the needle under the strand, here, and from the one in front, the two little ridges. There. We yarn over, go through all of them. Here we have 2 loops left on the hook. We yarn over and close, making the first single crochet. We go under the next one, 2 loops on this side. And from the 2 that are in front, 1 and 2. We take the thread and go through them all. We raise it to the height of the little ear that's on the hook. Take the thread again and close the stitch. We do the same process with the next stitch. The 2 on this side and the 2 that are in front, look at them, right here where they are. We yarn over. We lift up and make a single crochet. We go to the ones below here. And in front, look at them, here. We go through all of them. Very carefully, because sometimes the stitch is really tight. We add height and close the stitch. We tighten it here very well. Look here where the 2 strands are. And the 2 that are in front, we make a single crochet there. Look where the other one is, where the bump will be. And the 2 that are in front. We went through all of them. Low point. Under the next 2 strands and the 2 that are in front. Here we make the last one. This is how the stitching should look. Look at how the back looks. Here we cut the thread. We take it out. And with the help of the yarn needle, we are going to hide it under the stitches. We pass it right under here. At the end, here at the bottom, you're going to put a dot of silicone or make a simple stitch with needle and thread. To prevent the strand from coming loose, cut off the excess. And then hide the tip very well. Now we're going to sew this side. This is the starting strand. Notice that we didn't hide it because we're going to tuck it under the stitches. Let's take a new strand. We leave a little piece to hide under the stitches. And here, we're going to do the same process we did on the other side. We pass the needle under this first little ridge. Look here. And we locate the 2 that are in front, here, right under the little ridge. We take the yarn. We bring it forward. We have little loops on the hook. And here we make the stitch. Let's locate the 2 that are underneath. Look here where they are. With the 2 that are on top of the little hill, look at them over there. We go under these 2, and of the 2 that are in front. There. We make the stitch by placing the threads here to hide them. We go through all of them. We have 2 loops on the hook. We yarn over and close. Let's place both on this side. Look here. And the 2 that are in front? Here we will start hiding. And here we make the single crochet. We locate both of them that are here. Look, under the little hill, and the ones that are in front. And we keep hiding the thread. We do the same process. Here on this side. And the 2 that are in front. Cut the yarn and hide it. I've already finished hiding the ends. Here I made 13 single crochets. And on this side, I also made 13 single crochets. It's very important that you make the same number of stitches on each side, so that one side doesn't end up higher than the other. So, 13 on this side, 13 on this side. And this is how it's looking. Now, we're going to turn the piece over. We arrange it very well. And we arrange this side. We finish arranging the piece very well, and that's how the seam looks. See, you can't even tell. It looks like a single piece. Here we already have it ready. Now let's attach the handle and the clasp. Let's attach the magnetic clasp. You can use whichever one you have available. I was going to use this one at first. You place it here in the center. Look how pretty it looks. But I'm going to end up using the traditional magnetic one, because sometimes less is more, and it depends on personal taste. So what will I do here? You place the clasp, the thicker side, in the center where the slip stitches are, here on the back side. You can choose either side as the right side, but here you can see that both sides have the same shape. You will sew it with a needle and nylon thread, making sure to position the clasp correctly. And you will pass it here under the first little loop. The needle goes to the back of the stitch. Very carefully, so that the seam doesn't show on this side. You're going to leave a little bit of thread to finish off the seam at the end. So here, you pass the outer part again, and you secure that little ear. The number of turns, as many as needed, until you see that the clasp is nice and tight, so it doesn't move. So this is the process you'll do on each little ear, back and forth until it's nice and secure. Move on to the one underneath. Do the same thing, pass the needle underneath of the strand. And here in the little ear. again. You're going to repeat the process on each little ear until you get back here to the first one, and I'll show you how to finish off the stitching. I finished all the stitching. Look, I've already done the last one here. We'll take the thread from where we started and pass it underneath. And here, look, we already have both threads together. We cut the same size. And here, what we're going to do is make knots. We make 3 knots. And you're going to grab and cut the tips. You can also do it with a lighter, and that way they stick together. So you grab here, and that's it. We already have the first seam. Done. To make the next one, place the clasp on top. Close it. Adjust it very well. They open here, and right there is where they're going to do the stitching. On this side, following the same process we did here, I finished sewing the clasp. This is how it's turning out. Look how well it fits. Now we're going to attach the handle. I've already attached the 2 rings to the handle. We'll place it on the bag now. We're going to take these 2 that are in front and the 2 that are here. Look, I passed it under the chains. Under the first chain. And the one that's in front. Finally, we're going to add this little tassel. This is optional if you want to put it on or not. The bag looks very pretty without it, and with it, it would just be an extra accessory. We put it here on this side. We've completed the process, and I'll show you the result. Look at how this beautiful bag turned out. The dotted pattern gives it a very nice finish on the inside. On the inside, look how spacious it turned out. We can store a phone, and there's still room left. Look how pretty it is. I really like the touch that the handle gives it. Look how elegant it is. Very pretty and different at the same time. I'm going to give you the measurements. Of height. Ended with 17 centimeters. Wide, 23 centimeters. We've reached the end of the class. I hope you've enjoyed the whole process and that you put it into practice. If that's the case, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and leave a comment as a token of appreciation. If you've made it this far and haven't subscribed yet, I invite you to do so and also activate the notification bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming projects. See you in the next class. God bless you. Bye-bye.